and I'm working in FOAM, which is a photography research institution, belong to the Mimar Sinan Fine Arts University. It's the oldest fine arts university in Turkey, and we have photography department as education for like almost 40 years. Next year is going to be our 40th year. And 2 years ago we established a research center. And this is research center does have to actually educate for our students, but it's open to everyone. So we created a program, and luckily we get a kind of funding. Normally it's not that usual to get really huge fundings. I'm talking about some huge funding. ISKA, there's the Istanbul Development Agency, we send our application project, and luckily they approved. So first we started to physically establish the space with a computer lab and printing and everything. Then with our project, which is called Photobook project, we started to make workshops. Why? Because we saw that there's a kind of lackness of photo books from Turkey and the visibility of Turkish photographers in the photo book area. So we wanted to kind of help them from their first times of their career. So we thought that, okay, we can make a festival, but before we have to help them to produce something. Then, in 1 year we organized 7 workshops. Each workshop is like 1 week. We invited foreign artists, masters of photo books. Then in 1 year we published 70 books. With these 70 books, that we said, okay, now we can make a festival to show, because we are going to establish the first photo book festival of actually Turkey. It's called Istanbul, but we didn't have so much production from photo books. But from talking about the photo books, that I want to show a small presentation about a photo book, because I'm sure there is so many people who knows about the photo books, but it's a public talk, so maybe not so many people, because these days photo books are kind of, so I say how, why we are making a photo book festival, and what is a photo book? Because book is an art form. In the last 10 years it became a kind of new art form and created its own era, sometimes going further than photography, because in the previous times, like almost 10 or 15 years ago, when you tell something about what is a photo book, then people understand that it's the book of the project. So you make a project, you exhibit your project, then you make a book. So it's called photo book. But there was the idea of it was a showcase of the project. So you have to be think the similar when you are thinking about the project. But now this even in the language that it comes together, it's not a photography book or a photography catalog, but they call it photo book. It has its own rules, own sequencing, so it can be really go further than your project, and it can mix with other things which could be found footage, which could be internet images, which could be the images of other people. So it could be a kind of collective production, something. So it is a sequencing. So what does it make? It tells its stories. It's a way of storytelling, and it's a physical thing. It's a book. It has physical qualities. You hold it in your hands, and it has images. But it can be some photo books. I saw some photo books which has only one image, or some photo books has thousands of images. So these days, in the last 10 years time, it became so easy. Why? Because of some other things happened. One is the contemporary art really accepted, the contemporary art world accepted photo book as a medium of contemporary art. And there are some technological innovations which actually help photographers to go into the medium of photo books, which are digital offset technologies, indigo printing technologies, and internet media. So it created a kind of its own economy, which is very affordable, because in the former times, when you want to make a book, that you have to convince some people, which are publishers, which are the editors of very important agencies, something, or gallery owners. So you have to create a decent portfolio. Then you have to go to the galleries, and then they accept you as an artist and make an exhibition. And if they have enough budget, then they make an offset print, which is those times they were printing really too much, maybe 600, 800, 1,000 copies of the book. But then it's in the new technology, this indigo printing technology, you can print one book, 20 books, and they call limited edition prints, which became super economical, affordable for the photographers. So what happened? Photographers became the designers of the book and also the publishers of their book. So you don't have to convince some other people, but you can create your own publish and send it to some festivals. So there are so many dummy awards. It's a kind of phenomenon. They call it, like 6 months ago, there was an exhibition in Barcelona, Center of Contemporary Art. It's called Photobook Phenomenon. So there were the results of the last year's creative photobook projects in an exhibition day. So it became a phenomenon and super popular and easy. So we wanted to, in Turkey, we wanted to we are kind of representing a younger generation, because in the former generation they were more like making like photobook catalogs, and younger generation is more interested in contemporary art. So we really accepted photobooks as a contemporary art form and tried to produce something. There were some photography collectives, photobook collectives, which they began to publish and send it to some festivals, like our photobook festival, or like some photobook fairs also in Paris, that polycopy is something. So we wanted to show what we have done. Then in some universities, before our university, they started to make the photobook course as a new course. So when everything came together, we said that okay, we can start and let's make the festival. So self-publishing. This is a very important thing, that from aperture that they said it was so difficult to publish before, but right now it's very easy. Last year we went to Polycopies Fair to Paris with our booth and with our table, with the production of 70 books, and in each country they were showing their production, and the public, which they didn't have so much information about the photo books, they really accepted it because people are having fun, and there is the kind of gap between viewers and the photography works as prints, a kind of a distance, because as a guest you are going to the exhibition and you are looking for some seconds to the prints, and if it's interesting to you, if it's about documentary, and if you are interested in social work, you look over. If you are like contemporary things, and you look for some seconds, then you go to the other image. You spend some time, but a photo book or generally like visual books, that takes your time. You can look for minutes, hours, and you can spend time. So in Turkey, yeah, this is also an example. George is also here. That George made his photo book project, his last stop, in a kind of crowdfunding chances, because crowdfunding is also a very acceptable way in publishing your photo book. Indiegogo, like Kickstarter, they are this web platforms which helps you to find enough budget to publish your book. And publish means like first you start, the strategies change actually. The publishing photography strategies change. Even the museums are starting to publish 100, 200 copies. When they sell the old, then begin to publish the second edition, something like this. So photographers are following this route. So George is also one of them. He self-publishes photo book, and he's exhibited last year in our festival. So the also differences about the photo book, which is from the other books, are that it really a kind of showing your touches as the artist. There is a craftsmanship, there is binding, there is sewing, there is you touch it with you generally make it by yourself. I mean, you don't give money to, okay, give me 100 copy. You generally make it yourself and create it. He is Nico Baumgarten. He is a photo expert. He was one of our tutors. This is his book covers that he wants to make it some kind of original analog. So he's using some kind of these techniques. So before creating or establishing the festival, we make a research about, okay, what are the other festivals? There's the Vienna Photo Book Festival, because these are not photography festivals. These are like 2 days, 3 days photo book festivals, specific. So there are talks, seminars, and book market, something. So there's the Arles in Cosmos Photo Book Fair in art photography, because Arles festival is the biggest festival in the world. So there's a huge photo book section, like thousands of photo books. And we went to this photocopies. So we went to these festivals to make a research. Okay, what can we do? Then Kassel, it's the biggest one. And these are how the photo books are exhibited. And the last thing is the photo book museum in Cologne, established by photo book expert Markus Schaden. He is the ex-founder of Schaden Books and also Schaden bookstore in Cologne. But this is not, as you can see it right now, it's not a permanent museum. It was a temporary museum that they established for like 3 months. Then it's going to with containers. They are using containers for exhibitions to send it to other festivals. They are going to other photography festivals in Europe. They went to Denmark, something. So they don't need a physical space. But this is how photography is being exhibited these days in some festivals related to photo books. So this is like the timeline of a photographer of his publications can be shown like this. For the original books are in the glass tables, and on the walls you can see some covers and layout. So what has been done in Turkey, that there were some workshops started. When everything started, there was a booklet. They started this workshops, and these are the initiatives. So everything is actually, this photo book scene in Turkey, it's very young, and all these initiatives, they are, let's say, between 20 to 40 years old. So they are artists also exhibiting as photographers or video artists, but they want to make books. Then they come together with some occasions. So when we established the Photography Research Center, we wanted something that, okay, everyone has to come here. It's not just for the students, because in our university, it's a kind of, it's just open to our students. You have your card to use the facilities of the school, something. It's like this in most of the universities in Europe. I don't know here, but so we want some other professional people, not just for giving a seminar, but also naturally they just go inside our doors and create something together. So we established in this kind of idea and started to make our workshops. So we had 7 workshops. Rafał Mila and Anya, they were a Polish couple. They were from the Sputnik photos. Rafał became really famous, exhibiting everywhere. Matthew and Remy, they are the publishers and the owners of RVB Books from Paris. It's a contemporary art publishing house. And Frederick Lesmy and Markus Schaden, they were the founders of Photo Museum in Cologne. And Akina Books, they are Alex and Valentina, they are Italian couple. They have it's a UK, London-based photo book publishing house. And also Michele and Nico, they were independent self-publishers. So we wanted to make all these workshops different than each other. Because every tutor, it's a really flexible atmosphere and very different than the academic photography or any kind of art education. Because you make it, you can change it very quickly, and it doesn't have any rules actually. Because first thing about what's the rules of it? It has to be in a book, but there's no rules. And it's something very different than the normal project creating atmosphere, because normally photographers work alone, or sometimes they work collectives. They make collective projects, but when you are making a photo book, that you have to work as a collective, and as being a collective, that it really skyrockets your creativity. Because when you are working like this, it's called a kind of sequencing table, or it could be a sequencing wall that you make sequencing. What is it? You work with different a number of different images. It could be 50 images, or it could be 200 images. So you are trying to make the sequencing. It's like very like the film editing, but it gives it. It's different than the image, the idea of one singular important image idea. Because in photography there is the things, there are awards like this, press photo images, giving award to one photo, one image. But this is totally opposite of this. This is the book itself. It's meaningless, meaningful something, but one image is just a part of the project. So this is our atmosphere. It's really like very cozy. That when we are there in the 7-week workshops, that from 7 or 8 in the morning to like 2, 3 at evening, everybody is working together, and half of the people are. No, 1/3 is our students, and 1/3 is Turkish photographers and freelancers, creative artists, and the half of the group is coming from Europe. We had like 40 artists from different countries, from Italy, Germany. So it's giving a kind of international atmosphere for everyone to think, because everyone is thinking differently, and everyone is giving the idea about one singular project. Then there is something happening. I didn't think like this. So collective sequencing or collective thinking is there's some kind of also strategies of creating the photo book. So these are some examples of the photo books that we produced during the workshops. So we had 70 participants, and we published after getting this budget. We say, okay, we have dummies. It's called dummy. It's called photo book dummy. Is the dummy that we produced after the workshop. It's looking like a maquette, but we published these dummies in each of them is like 20 editions. And we kind of say the respect of the dummy as okay, you are not a dummy anymore, but you are a book. Then send it to all the festivals, and start the first festival last year. Last year, actually, we do have budget, but we didn't have that much network, and exhibitions that were not that much. So we were mostly interested in the seminars and collective talks, and so because we are trying to actually establishing a community. In Turkey, you know, the population is a lot, 70 million, but photo book community is not that much. Everyone knows each other. If you are in the photography or contemporary art world, or contemporary artist or photo book maker, something, really, everyone knows each other, and most of them are living in Istanbul. So it's not that much. So we are trying to establish a community. That's why we are making the festival. So in the first festival, that we invited some artists, experts, like Oliver Kabla is an artist, and Sebastian is a publisher. And Sebastian, he was owning a bookstore in Paris, Global Photo in Paris. Frederick is a bookmaker. So we want to give a kind of dummy award, but which was it's an award that people send their dummies, photo dummies, and the jury decided one dummy to be the first winner dummy book to be published. So, but in the last year, the jury decided the 2 books, Serkan Taycan and Koran Karaoğlan's book to be published. So we published 2 books, and these are the images of Kürşat by hand, and these are the images from our festival. So we are using our spaces, university spaces, as our spaces, because we have a kind of luxury that Mimar Sinan Fine Arts University is really situated literally by the sea of Bosphorus. We have an old building and a screening, huge auditorium and exhibition centers, and by the sea. So it's a cozy atmosphere down in the downtown. So what we had in the festival, we started to make dummy reviews. You know, festivals, they have this portfolio reviews that you show your portfolio, but a portfolio could be different things. I mean, one portfolio is about something, one project, and other project is something. It makes your portfolio, but a dummy review is something you show one dummy to an expert and give some reviews, and it can be reviewed like as design-wise or concept-wise or cover-wise, or it could be anything. So you make another dummy. Normally you make 3-4 dummies before publishing your own book, but it could be self-published or it could be. I think we are going to exhibit in the same way that in the. Isn't it? Sure. Yeah, almost the same. But this is a really cheap and easy way of exhibiting photo books.
Our black.
Yeah, for MDF. So we made this MDF because we don't have any budget. Actually, we didn't have any budget last year, but we had some opportunities. We asked for artists if you could attend to the festival. Most of them said yes, and we had spaces to exhibit, and we have some equipment and just this, but we didn't have a kind of decent normal budget as the festival, and we are not festival organizers. We are trying to learn, and it's going to be our third time. But normally, I told you that I'm an artist, but I'm working in the academy, and we are learning how to make festival. This is our exhibition hall of the for the photo books. This was the first time that we made an exhibition related to photo books, and it's about Anne Hopkins. Anne Hopkins is the first photographer in the 80s that after the birth of the photography itself, then Anne Hopkins used this Van Dyck prints, cyanotype prints, these blueprints, and created a book. There was the prints of plants, and so we decided to tribute the first exhibition and first photo book festival in Turkey to Anne Hopkins, and made an exhibition from the book-related cyanotype projects, and most of them are belong to created by our students. So we gave the speech to the bookmakers. Most of them, these are our participants. So they told about the stories of their books, and they shared each other. So this is from the opening, and two winner books that being published. And it was the second year that it's really interesting that we had the budget to establish a huge physical space and created something. But in the second year, that we asked to ourselves, okay, should we continue? Because we don't have money. Then we made a meeting, okay, let's continue. Then it started like this, help you to create the organization to make these networks. When I went to Arles with our books, that I met with Martin Parr and David Company and George Giorgio. Then I wrote an email to Martin Parr, and could you attend? And he said yes. Yeah, okay, I will come. Oh, okay. Then Martin is okay. Then I wrote to David Company, and David Company is a very important book photography critic, artist, curator. He's from UK. So he said, okay. Then it goes on, and Susan May Salas, she said yes. Then we had great numbers of participants. Then we made an agreement with Kassel Photo Book Festival. Kassel Photo Book Festival is the most important photo book festival. It's in Kassel. So they said, but they couldn't make their festival last year because there was a documenta. You know, it happens in Kassel. So they didn't want to make it in the Kassel. So they were searching for a guest country, city to host their festival. So Dieter, the owner, said, why don't we contribute together, collaborate each other? Then they said they sent all the books to our festival, so we made exhibitions together, and they have a dummy award, which also going to be published, and they are publishing in a really professional way and also distributing it. So this is from the exhibitions you can see the second year we kind of created ourselves, opened more high quality exhibitions. So this is from the exhibition of the last edition, which 9 artists exhibited there in the exhibition halls, who published their books in the last 1 year. So 1 or 2 years. So one of them also Georgiou, he was there. Serkan Taycan, Turkish artist, and 8 was from Turkey and 2 from I think abroad. And this is the book, how we exhibit the books. And there were the themes of the. We didn't have a general theme of the festival, but in the first year we kind of guessed it a country. It was Poland. So we was collaborated with a Polish group, fresh from Poland. So they sent 50 books from different collectives. So they were collecting books from different young publishers. So they sent their books. But these books which you see on the top of inside the glass tables, they were from Netherlands. So this time Dutch books came from the last 10 years of production. This is the kind of a demo production. These are not published books, but examples. And this is from another project that it started as a documentary photography project, but then it became ended with like 12 small photo books. So we made an interesting exhibition, photo books of the world. On the right, you will see the boxes that people send their photo books in a small box from all over the world, like from Rio to Japan to Lebanon to they send to Istanbul. So with their small cargo packages. So we exhibit also kind of this as an installation, and on the left is a part of the books that they sent. This is from the exhibitions. So we are trying. I told you that we are trying to actually make our festival well and little bit known, not in Turkey also, and give a kind of a photo book phenomenon idea to publicity. So actually, Martin Parr helped really about our publicity because he's a kind of a very well-known photographer, and his attendance it will help us a lot. And this is from a jury session that jury stays 1 day and decides the owner on the book. So Susan Mason made a speech and came here and also made photo book dummy review to my photograph. So we have a book market to sell the books, and this is the collective table to discuss what's going to be the future of the festival, what's the future of our projects, and also we talk each other and criticize each other actually. So these are the photographers that one photographer which you see that with Çağdaş Erdoğan, that I have to say that he exhibited in our festival and he attended one of our workshops, and in the workshops he met with the workshop tutor Akina Books, that Valentin and Alex. They published his book and sent it to and exhibited globally everywhere. And Çağdaş has been arrested by our government right now, and he's in prison because of just shooting images. Çağdaş is a really good photographer, and when they saw his photo book, and because he makes political photo reportage projects, and so I have to say that. So this is the exhibition space again, and the company. So I want to finish it, so it's going to be late, and we decided earlier to our dates. It's the 25th to 27th of May 2018. It's going to be a festival in Istanbul, so all you are invited.